All right, this is the relaxation flow for the back, and we'll go through some myofascial techniques and Swedish techniques, and it'll be probably roughly 10-ish minutes. So I've already draped my client, and I've got permission to massage her. So I'm going to start at the hips and spread my lotion upward. Go ahead and take a deep breath in, and then exhale. One thing to note would be that I don't feel obliged to have both of my hands pointed directly forward. That feels really awkward on my wrists, so I just put my hands in whatever direction feels comfortable. And now I'm kind of establishing the boundary for the section that I'm going to be massaging right now. Then we will knead all the way from the hip to the neck. And how's the pressure, Ellery?
That's good.
Would you like more or less, or just the same?
Just the same.
Okay. One little pressure tip that I try to share is if you kind of like hook your fingertips, that will make it feel like it's more pressure, but it's no extra exertion on your part. So we are kneading. And I'm going to knead the other side. And do the same thing. So we have a couple different techniques that we do on one side and then the other. It's up to you really if you want to go back and forth, whatever you feel like has the best flow to it. So if you wanted to knead this side and then knead this side, that's fine. Or if you wanted to do kneading and then pulling, you could do both on one side and then both on the other side. And notice when I'm pulling, this is what the body stance looks like. If her body were instantly invisible, I would fall backward. And I'm going from the hip all the way up, and even the side of the neck. Why not? All right, then we're going to move to the upper quadrants. For this, I'm going to move my client's arm back so that the scapula is really accessible. So first, we're just going to loosen the scapula and then knead. If you feel some tight spots, that would be great to spend some more time on that. You could do some cross fiber friction. So cross fiber, you can even do circular friction. Just be aware of your body position the whole time. Right now I'm on the infraspinatus. If I go up over the spine of the scapula, then I'm on the supraspinatus. All right, when you've fully done the posterior side of the scapula with kneading of cross fiber, I'm just going to do some mobilization, gentle, passive mobilization on the whole scapula, the whole rotator cuff, the whole shoulder girdle. So I'm holding the bottom angle and the front of her shoulder, just going passively in a couple different directions. Then I would move to do this same technique on this side. Put my client's arm back, do the kneading, cross fiber, and mobilization. And now I'm at the head, and I'm going to do some glides standing at the client's head, or actually just to the side. pet peeve of mine is when you stand at the head and do that. So come to the side, and if you need to take an extra step, if they have a lower torso, or if you have a short lunge, just take an extra step. No big deal. But your hips should move forward as your hands move forward too. All right, then we have the so-called Christmas trees. It's kind of like a fulling technique over the whole entire back. I think Christmas tree because the branches come out and down. And then when I get down to the hip, ringing. So I'm changing my stance to horseman's and coming up and down. And just like all the other relaxation techniques, the speed reflects your intent. These are nice and slow because it's a relaxation session. And then to come back down and do the ringing again, I'm going to do vibration. You could also do circular friction. And then do that ringing technique once more and circular friction down the other side. If you didn't do vibration earlier, here's where you can introduce that. So I'm using 2 fingers, one in the lamina groove either side, and it's just side to side vibration. Then, since we're wrapping up the sequence, we're going to introduce some percussion, whichever is your favorite. And because we go from broad to specific and back to broad, it's always nice to end with these big broad strokes. And then one of my favorite techniques to end with is the sacral occipital hold. So I'm using thumb and fingers and pressing occiput and sacrum away from each other. It's just a very gentle traction. And I'm going to invite my client to take a deep breath in. And then exhale. And slowly release pressure and float off. So that's the relaxation massage sequence. Thanks for watching.